Hey guys, it's Mike here. So I'm checking out some of the aftermath and just right around my house, kind of the local area near me of this flood that just happened. And they're already starting to do some cleanup, so there's not a whole lot to look at right here. And they actually have all this area closed off, so you're not supposed to go in here or anything. So I'm not trying to get in trouble, but I'm going to show you kind of some of the stuff that I can. They already cleaned this up. We came and looked earlier in the week, or kind of like last week, and this all looked a lot worse than it does now. So they've already cleaned up a lot, but it'll still kind of give you an idea of kind of like how bad that it really was. This lens is a wide angle, so I can't see a whole lot on it, but I'll try to zoom in where I can and show you what I can. So what we've got going on, here's the river closest to our house, or kind of by our house, and it was all the way up to this fence line as far as the water goes. And then way up on the banks on that side, you can see all the trees that got knocked over and on all the debris over there. You can see here that there was a street lamp. That's a full-size light post like you have on the streets that was knocked over completely. You can see one that's standing up over there, and there's a whole row of them. And this one that you see here got fully knocked over. I think there's several that got close to knocked over. There might have been other ones, but that's the first one I saw that's just completely knocked over. All this debris, like these trash cans and stuff, were down lower, and now they're pushed up against the fence line here. A lot of this fence line that you see has already been replaced. They've been coming through here and replacing it because all this is brand new. This was gone earlier in this week. All this was knocked down. They've already come through here and put up new posts, or new side piece, or the horizontal pieces. They've been cleaning up a lot in here already. But there's still a lot of damage to clean up. So you can kind of see, I've got my camera lens zoomed in all the way. Like I said, this is a wide angle lens. You can see I'm parked over there, but just try to stay out of the way. They have the road down there blocked off, and they have people from Parks and Recreation down here making sure no one's supposed to, no one that isn't supposed to be back there isn't going back there. But yeah, you can see all the debris on the other side, how everything's laid down. There's been all this dirt moved around. None of this was here the other day when I was here, so they've been doing a lot of work. They have excavators down here. All of this, what am I trying to say, swings and all this stuff, it had tree branches and debris just completely against it all last week. You can see that there's still piles of debris over here. That big light post over here is getting pushed around. It's not fully knocked over though. But you can see how it got pushed and started to lean. You can see all the stuff on the banks on the other side that's pushed down. There's another light post that's completely pushed down. All those swings and stuff, like I said, there was just branches and huge piles of debris against it last week. It looked like a bulldozer went and pushed it all against there, but it was all just from the water. Like I said, all this fencing has already been replaced. None of this stuff was here. All those were piled up on the roadway over there. So yeah, they've already been doing a lot of work. I'm kind of surprised. When we were here the other day, we were kind of surprised to see that they weren't doing much work, but then after thinking about it, it's because there was still a lot of rescuing going on. So the rescue efforts, I think, are still going on out in Kerr County. Like, look at this trash can. I don't think that was here before. Maybe it was and it's just bent over. It's hard to tell if there's like a support underneath it, but that's bent over. You can see all this. There's my wife pulling up to get closer to me, so I don't have to walk too far, so she can keep an eye on me. Yeah, they're doing a lot of work, and it's actually looking really good compared to how it did before. It was really messed up looking. But that water, like all of this was underwater, you know, all of this was. It was pushing stuff all the way up to here. Like, look at the back side of this trash can here. Yeah, I'm gonna see what else I can show y'all. All right, so I moved down a little bit further. I'm still, hang on, let me zoom in as much as I can here. All right, I'm zoomed in as much as I can. But I moved down the same park, I'm just further down to a different area of it. You can see there's a front end loader carrying some debris over there. And then the banks, there's just all kinds of stuff on the banks over there. Something right there, I don't know if that's sheet metal or a big rock or what that is. I guess it looks like it's maybe like sheet metal of some kind pushed up over there. There's just tons of debris just pushed up all over the place. You really can't see much from this angle, but when I was driving up, you could see a lot more. There's a lot of work going on. There's people down in the, look like they're down there in kind of like the riverbed area, or in the, where the river banks are. I see a trailer down there. Everything's shut off. They're not letting anyone pass the road here. There's the orange fence set up and no one's supposed to go past that. All right guys, now I'm at this place called Hat Creek Burger, and it got flooded all right behind them. This place sits right on the river, and they have it all roped off here. I'm not supposed to go past here. They actually have a cop sitting right over there at the end of the parking lot. You can't see it from here, but there's a trailhead where you can enter into the trail down here, and they have a cop over there. So see, they have all this blocked off. They have kids over there looking at the flood damage and stuff, but you're not supposed to go down here. I was gonna just try to kind of show y'all how they have everything blocked off. I don't think you can really see anything from here. What I will show you is you can see the bridge from here actually. And let me zoom in as much as I can. I said this is a wide angle lens. It doesn't zoom in very much, but I'll zoom in where I can. And if you see that bridge that runs across the road, there's a vehicle going across right now. The water was actually hitting against the bottom of that bridge. Right now it's so low down there you can't even see it. It's all the way in the bottom of that basin. But yeah, you can see there's a trail here that would normally go down there, but they have everything blocked off. It's not safe to go down there. There's so much flood debris still down there, and actually they're still looking for bodies. Let me see what else we can see. Let me see if you can see anything from here. See, there's a walkway down there where people usually walk and fish off of and stuff. I'm trying to see, it actually looks like it got washed away. It looks like part of it is completely gone. I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, but right out there, I see the water flowing through where it looks like usually you can walk over that little bridge right there. So I'm not really sure. But yeah, you can still see that there's a lot of debris still around. And there's trees that are just knocked over. But yeah, all that was completely underwater. The water would have been all the way up to somewhere around this fence line, up near the parking lot. I don't think you can see much more through here. Yeah, you can't really see anything else through here. I'm gonna go see if I can show you the entrance to this trailhead. Even though the cop's over here, I can probably still get a shot of the trailhead. So you can see here, cop's there, he's blocking off so people can't get down in there. As you can see, it's all closed off, but the water was all the way up to there's railing right there behind the fence. And it was all the way up to the top of that railing. Let's see what I can see right over here. And someone else is here trying to check out something while they eat, I guess. Let's see if you can see any of this. You can't really. It's where they have it blocked off. But yeah. Yeah, you can't really see anything down there. Can't really see any debris in the trees over here. I can see a little bit, but not much. Alright, so now we're in a little park on the east side of Georgetown, and the river runs along through here. This is the San Gabriel River, and it has 3 different forks, but this is one of the main forks, and this is the one that runs down to like the Blue Hole, I think. So this whole area was flooded pretty bad. Crazy thing about this is this was on the news, these apartment complexes over here. And they're real high up off the river, and they have like a big retaining wall before you get to the first floor of the apartments, but the water was all the way to the very first floor, and it was crazy because no one's ever seen the water that high. No one thought the water ever could get that high. So yeah, it's see those apartments over there? The water was all the way to the bottom of that balcony over there. It's really high. Can't really see too much debris or anything from here. Everything's nice and calm now, but there was a lot of destruction. With this flood, there was confirmed now I think they said 135 people that died. So there's still 3 people missing. As of yesterday, there was 100 people missing, and then they dropped the number down to 3. So I don't know if they just had the number wrong, or a bunch of people reported that they weren't missing all of a sudden, or really what happened. Yeah, I don't think you can really. I saw something purple through there. I wonder if that's a person. Yeah, I think I see a person walking around on the other side. Anyways, you can see some debris down there in the trees. Try to zoom in a little bit. Some debris down there. There's some debris stuck down in the trees down there, and a tree that's knocked over. Yeah, the water levels come down, way down already, but there was it's just crazy how high it was. Look, someone's hat is over here that someone found in the flood, I guess. Yeah, it's been floating around for a while. Don't know what that is. There's a lot that I've been looking at over here that I want to buy, that I've been curious about, and I would really I want to kind of come and explore this real quick and see how high the water could have gotten over here, because, well, let me look down here. I see a trail and the fence is down. One of my big fears is that if I get this lot over here, that it could flood real easily, and this is the highest flood event ever, so I can try to kind of see if it even did anything. Oh wow, there's a bridge down here. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be coming down here right now, but let me kind of get a little peek, because the fence was down. I didn't have to hop the fence or anything. You can see that the rain, the water would have been coming through all this. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. This bridge right here got all twisted. You can see how it's no longer straight anymore. It's all bent up and twisted, had debris hitting all against it. I wouldn't want to try to cross that right now. But wow. But you can get an idea of how high this flood event was. Like I said, it was all to the bottom of those balconies up there. You can see it was way above my head right now. Way above where my head is right now. I can already see I'm way below where all the debris was. All right, I'm gonna get back out of here. Mostly because I gotta go use the restroom. Alright, now I'm gonna go check out this little lot real quick before I leave. So that's the lot right there on the other side of that fence. The fence is leaning, I see that. That's not a huge deal. I think it ends, or it starts right where that wooden fence starts. See, there's chain link on the other side. That's the neighbor. So that's all part of the property right there. And then it has this walkway down below it. You see, and it curves around it. So everything up on that side is this lot that's for sale. Down below it is the creek. Not the creek, the river. And then you have the park just right there, which is pretty cool. So I don't see, so let me see. Okay, so right there is a tree that's broken and snapped right there. I mean, I would say that you got debris all up in this area, but it doesn't look like it got too much higher than just all right here. There's some more stuff hanging on the fence. Let's see what's going on over here. Like how that hat was hanging on the fence. I wonder if these are people's belongings or just trash. Looks like just trash. Yeah, looks like it's just trash. So, not sure why someone hung it there like that. But yeah, I would say that that water got really high up here, but it doesn't look like it crossed over and got up above this rock wall right here. I mean, it's completely receded down now. So, let me climb up here and kind of look over and see. Yeah. So this is the lot that's for sale. And it drops off and slopes up. So I mean, it would have to get really high to get all the way up there. I've never looked at it from this angle before. Now if I owned it, I'd probably want to build a higher fence so that I had more privacy. But I do like the way that it sits up here like this. It's a nice lot. The actual building size is probably not huge because of the way it's shaped. But anyways, all right, back to the car. We were here before for another flood that wasn't nearly as bad as this one. We came over here to this park. It was way before we lived in Georgetown, probably 2 years before we lived in Georgetown. And we could hear, it was still like when the water was still rising, but it wasn't raining anymore. So we were out driving around checking it out. And the trees were snapping like crazy. And you can hear all the trees through here just snapping and falling over. It was one of the craziest things I'd ever heard. All right, going back to the car.